feminism was never about equality. It was always about restitution and retribution. There's never any waves of freaking feminism.
She was basically saying what women don't want is equality of outcomes or equality of physicality. They want equality with the mental equality,
right.
Basically where women have the ability to have the same jobs that men do as far as like, technical jobs or engineering or whatever like that. And what he's saying is you can't complain about that. And at the end, Ben Shapiro says, this is what feminism used to be. Mm-hmm. And if it's not for equality of outcomes, mm-hmm. then that's fine. Nobody has a problem. In fact, I don't even think that's feminism.
No.
I think feminism to me is equality of outcomes. When you want equality of what's it called when from the starting line, when we all start from the same spot. I forgot
equity.
Yeah.
I think it's it's kind of like progressive speak is what it is. It's kind of like woke speak, more or less. Say the problem that I have when people start bringing up like issues of feminism, it's the fact is like everybody wants to say, oh, it's about equality, it's about equality.
But equality not exists between women and
exactly.
men.
I was going to say, it's like the problem is the word equality. I don't believe in equality. And I don't mean that like I don't think that we should be like, have equal standards, for men and women.
We were not equal. We cannot be
it's
equal.
The fact that we always refer to equality as if it exists in a vacuum. Like, oh, we got to be equal. No, there are physical differences. Like women can have children and I can't. And if I say, oh, that's horribly inequality, we should change the world so that I can have kids and you can't.
We equally can have an opportunity. We equally can have help each other to achieve some goals. We equally can try to do something,
Mm-hmm.
but we are not equal.
But see, that's more like we're complements to one another. We're
yes,
cooperation.
Yeah, we can collaborate and do something together.
So
but we are not equal. Just why
as a guy, my strengths, my innate strengths as a guy complement a woman's weaknesses, and then vice versa too. And I don't see why that is it's a curb this fucking high. How come we can't just wrap our heads around that? And the reason for that is because guys, just like Ben Shapiro as well, but as well as the woman here, I think they're both wrong because feminism was never about equality. It was always about restitution and retribution. There's never any waves of freaking feminism. It's this idea that everybody ought to be on the same level. It's a blank slate equalism. We're all blank slates, and it's simply not true.
But so this is idea what let's say 200 years ago, woman was keep behind, but just women didn't want to do anything. We were okay with what we have.
Right.
And so now it's more about now we can choose whatever we want to do. Now we can choose give an equal work what you can if we want to, but we don't want to.
Yeah, but
we just want to have this opportunity.
So these are
you want the option. I want the option.
But we don't want to use it. Please tell me do not do this. Okay?
Right.
Yes.
Maybe you can do this, but stop it.
This is we live in a liberal democratic society where legally it doesn't matter what your gender is or your race. You should have the ability to have the same job that someone else, with certain exceptions. Like for instance, women fighting in the infantry because they can't hold a 70-pound rucksack. There's just certain requirements that are necessary. But for the most part, in a lot of other jobs, we don't see that difference. So that if the question is should they have the right to choose whatever they want, that you're correct. But you made a second point which makes sense, and that when women were surveyed in the workforce, 83% of them said that if I could have, I would wanted to stay home with the kids. 83% of women said that. So what that says is, while you may have wanted one thing, they wanted that opportunity. A lot of them in the end don't want to have to do that. And the problem, I think, is when women get begrudged for that. So again, you go on TikTok and you see these comments where women are like, I cooked for my man. And they're like, why would you say this? You're setting women back. You're a pick-me. The women are called pick-me's for wanting to do things for their man.
We're always going to yell against something we're staying for, and if I decided to become feminist and now I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do anything, of course I'm going to degrade everyone who doing opposite because I need to prove my point somehow. And if I don't have any reasons to prove it, so of course I have to come at you.
It'd be funny to see
for some people it's cool to do to go to the boot camp or to try to do something some of men work because they need a discipline, but for someone no. And we cannot talk for all the species. I cannot talk for all women who wants to cook or who wants to fuck.
For sure.
Sometimes I want to cook, sometimes I want to fuck, sometimes I want to sleep.
Yeah, I didn't think this was that controversial. But I do understand what you disagree with Ben, but I do kind of agree with what Ben's saying. Is maybe that isn't actually. It's kind of like with red pill. You know how they distort what red pill actually means. I think it's one of these situations where if the function of of it was equality of outcomes, then I do believe that is unrealistic, and that is what feminism is. But I don't think that the idea that we should all start from the same place and at least have the right to, regardless of whether or not it's a good idea.
So,
I don't
like,
think it's
when
wrong.
we talk about equality of opportunity, there's also, you have to be realistic in that equality of that opportunity in the first place. So it's like, should women have the ability to, or the opportunity, I should say, to be a firefighter, right?
I don't want equality because I don't want to be like a lineman doing the power lines. I don't want to be doing underwater welding.
Okay. So
fuck that.
But so now let me ask you. Okay, so that's a good question. Now let me ask you this: do you think you should have the opportunity, or women should have the opportunity to be an underwater welder or a lineman or a fireman or a garbage
I think
it's never. You know, it's funny. It's never like I want to work in raw sewage. It's like I want to be in HR. I want to be in. I want to
be a psychologist. I want to be an attorney.
Yes.
If women want to do the same thing that a man should do, like let's say combat or like a police officer, I think they should pass the same physical tests that a man does if they want to be able to do that.
So essentially don't, and that's what I was getting at as far as equality of opportunity is concerned. We should not be like lowering standards for like combat or for like kicking in a door so that you can be a firefighter.
Yeah, but that wasn't her argument. Basically, wasn't the physical part. Like I don't want to be a 200-pound man. That's what she said. My whole thing is that the word I was looking for is opportunity. Equality of opportunity and equality of outcomes. Equality of outcomes is not reasonable. That is not reasonable. No. Remember, guys, read in the preamble of your Constitution, it states that you have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It does not happiness. One more time. It does not say happiness. You're not guaranteed. You're not endowed with these rights by these inalienable rights by your Creator. It is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It does not guarantee happiness. So in guaranteeing happiness would be guaranteeing an outcome. What we do is guarantee opportunity in this country. And so from that standpoint, I agree.
I've got this great, anytime this topic comes up, I usually bring up these stat tables here. Men have greater upper body strength. They have taller bodies. We have heavier bodies. Higher basal metabolic rates. I don't know if you knew that. Faster reaction times. Thicker bones in the jaw. So we can take one on the chin, right? Faster mental rotation and spatial visualization, more accurate throwing of objects, more accurate blocking of thrown objects. I did not know that. More interest in the practice of combat skills, stronger bones, greater bone density, specifically in the arms, easier heat dissipation, more hemoglobin in the blood, higher muscle to fat ratio, larger hearts, higher systolic blood pressure, broader shoulders, enabling more efficient weapon use, larger sweat capacity, larger circulating blood volume, greater resistance to dehydration, tolerance risk and dangerous activities, faster sensory frame shifting. I'm not sure what that is. Thicker skin, larger lung capacity, and greater use of physical and homicidal aggression.
Yes.
We are naked murderers.
So basically, everything they describe there is given to you through testosterone, like every single one. Yeah. The more dense musculature, the thicker bones.
Every time Myron starts talking about like differences between men and women, I'm like, just read this. Just read this part.
So just on average, men are about 90% stronger in their upper body and 50% stronger in their lower body. Men are about 15% bigger than women. That's on average.
Right, so that's the physical side of things. Like, but what about like mental stuff?
So men are obviously more aggressive.
Psychology.
And the thing is, I don't know if it's testosterone does this or if it's just a function of our hardwiring, evolutionary psychology, but the story you said about the nail, that is very common. It's like
which we can show too.
Yes. Well, frequently what happens is when men communicate, we want to solve the problem. You tell us the problem, we want to solve the problem. And you don't want us, sometimes women don't want us to solve the problem. You guys instead want us to like hear how you feel. And so I ask Kylie frequently, I'm like, am I solving your problem or do you want me to hear how you feel? Just let me know now so I could just sit here and be like, yes, baby. But if you want me to solve the problem, I'll solve it in 2 seconds. And now all of a sudden, all of your drama goes away. Are you cool with that? Because a lot of times if you take a girl's drama away too fast, she's like, what the fuck was that? Like, I didn't want you to do that. Why'd you take all my drama away? I need more chaos.
Right. I wasn't ready.
Again, I wasn't ready. I want more chaos so I can get more attention. And then you took it away. You fixed the problem.
Chaos too.
Huh?
There's some men that like drama and chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, the ones who were raised like effective women.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
There's some men that love that.
Like, even about physical, things. Now it's statistics about men is definitely stronger than women in all this different stages. But nowadays, we like so, like when we have like bunch of genders and all that stuff, we have like like super weak woman and man and super strong woman, which is like totally opposite of each other. Maybe that's the reason like why like now like like the super strong woman wants to like like you have your job and the super weak man wants to have mine.
Well, the necessity for the super strong man.
And now it's like much
less and less.
and now it's like that kind of people more than like
There are men out there that will purposely push a woman's buttons because they like craziness. Like I had an ex-husband, like he liked to push my buttons because he liked craziness, and I'm like, why am I doing that? I'm like, this is stupid. This is retarded.
But you gave him craziness.
And when I stopped giving him craziness, he thought I was being too boring, and I'm like, well, I don't want the craziness. I don't want that. But he liked it. Like his ex chased him around the house with a knife.
Yeah,
that's craziness.
That sounds like craziness. What were you going to say, Christiana? What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say being in a relationship like that taught me how to be manipulative for men. And it's not that like I wanted to, but I did learn out of necessity to protect my real mentally craziness. So
to protect it.
Yeah, it's not to protect it, but to protect.
I don't want somebody to take away my. I'm really insecure. Someone will take away my craziness.
I meant mental stability. You might, yes,
I got you.
Yeah. So,
mental stability.
So sometimes, I when I could feel, I'm like, oh, it's been a little bit too calm here. Beginning, I better start some drama just to really keep him from focusing in on me. What it really pushes
Jesus,
my
girl, that is very enlightening that you would actually admit to that, because that is absolutely the truth. It's so funny. If I just said what she just said, which is women are like, wow, things have been a little too calm. I need to start some drama. Women are like, I can't believe you say that, Michael. It's just the women that you talk to. And then Christiana says exactly what I'm going to say because I know it to be true. I can tell sometimes. By the way, it's not just with girls I date. It's
let me remind you, this is the same girl who said she had 50 boyfriends at the beginning of the show.
Right. Well, I just checked my phone and 2 of them are gone now. So.
You got rid of them?
-2.
You deleted the contact.
I have 2 more openings.
Hey, that's right. Hey,
that's why she has so many boyfriends.
We're going to a party after this. There might be some more applicants there.
You wanted chaos.
Casey Xander says that men should be in control of the drama. Casey Xander recommends that men start drama.
Yeah, so I was with Casey all this week, or I was with Casey on Tuesday and then talked to him today. And you're right. Yeah, I mean, that's a very different thing as far as control the drama. It's unfortunate. Like, wouldn't it be better if just neither of us wanted drama? But I think what happens is women have less of a necessity for sexual validation, more of a necessity for attention. And because of that, a great way to get attention is to start drama. And so you do that, and then all of a sudden you get attention. One thing is Andrew Tate said this, and I actually agree with him, was this concept of like your girl's picking a fight with you, so you fight back with her. You're actually rewarding her with more attention. What happens is when she cleans your house and she brings you food, that's when you should be giving her all your attention. But as men, obviously, we do the opposite.